Hey there, On Tracker. Scott Graves here from the On Track Music Guitar School. We are continuing with the blues. Okay, this is we're gonna kind of finish up the first blues unit here in this video. So, just a couple variations that I want to show you on the basic progression in this, and then give you some exercises to work on. Let's just go ahead and pull up the unit and check it out. Let me share the screen here. So what we're going to talk about is this subject right here. It says substituting the 5 chord for the 4 chord in bar 10. So this is a common variation on the blues. Here, this example's in the key of E. Normally, again, we're going to go 4 measures of the 1 chord, 2 measures of the 4, 2 measures of the 1, and then normally we go 5, 4, 1 turnaround. That's the most common thing in the blues, 5, 4, 1 turnaround. But another really common variation is to, instead of going on the 5 chord, or the 4 chord here, you just stay on the 5 chord, okay? So you could call that a 5 chord substitution or a 5 chord swap. But you're just staying on the 5 chord for 2 bars right there. It's an easy thing to do. Okay, and when you hear it, there's no big new technique involved in this. You just got to get used to it. And there are a ton of blues songs that use this form. Okay, so it's just something that you got to be aware of, because if someone says play a blues in E and you're not aware that they're doing this form, you can kind of mess it up. You'll be on the wrong chord. When they're on the 5 chord, you'll be on the 4 chord. Okay, so you gotta. I don't really know that there's a certain name for this that's common, but you just got to be aware that that's what you're doing. And again, like sometimes I'll just say it's a 5 chord swap. Okay, or 5 chord sub. So if I was going to do that in the key of A, same thing. Here's our key of A is our 1 chord. D would be our 4 chord. A would be our 1 chord. And then we go to the 5 chord, E, stay on E, and then go to the 1 chord at the end. This example has a 1 chord, and then it stays on the 1 chord right here at the end for that example. But let's do a couple of these things with a guitar profile, just to get them under our belt. This is not going to be too hard. I'm going to stop sharing this one and pull up my Guitar Pro screen. Here we go. Okay, so this first one says substituting the 5 chord for the 4 chord in bar 10. Okay, so that's this bar right here. Key of E, 5 chord turnaround. So we are going to do a 5 chord turnaround on this one from the key of E. And I actually moved the speed up on this to 100%. The last few videos, we were doing it at 80%. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this. And I will leave the video focused on the track so that you can see it. In fact, I think I may even bring this a little bit bigger. Let's see if we can just get that for you a little bit bigger so you can see it real well. I'm going to move my mug out of the way here so that you're concentrating on what's going on the screen. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be a little bit faster, so don't fret it. Okay, here we go, starting from the E. Now we're going over to the A. Back to the E. Here's our 5. Start. So it's a little bit faster clip than our last few. Going to the 4 chord. Back to the 1 chord. Out of the 5. Hang on the 5. So you can see we moved along fairly fast clip at that. Okay, it's just I chose to do it at a faster tempo because I think you're probably getting familiar with this stuff, and there's no big changes in this. We're just staying on that 5 chord. So here's the same thing. Key of A. This says 1 chord turnaround right here. So here we're going to start on A, go to our 4 chord D, back to A. This is where we hang on that 5 chord, okay? Hang on the 5 chord for 2 bars, and we're going to go to A and stay on the A with a 1 chord turnaround right there, okay? So let's go ahead and try that. We're going to leave it the same fast clip. Here we go. Starting on the A. This is a 1 chord. Okay, so there you have it. That kind of nice variation. You see that in a lot of different types of songs, especially some of the more rockier blues versions. They'll use that one quite often. One thing that's worth mentioning, those 1 chord turnarounds, they're fairly easy because you stay on that 1 chord, but the hard thing about a 1 chord turnaround is that sometimes it's easy to get lost in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll share my screen again real quick with you. On the 1 chord turnaround, when you're coming through there, you get to that turnaround position, you go A, 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 A. You got a lot of chords in a row right there. And sometimes that's easy to get lost. It's not so hard when there's a singing part in a song and it's you know, because the vocals will start where they're supposed to at the first of the verse or the chorus or whatever. That's a little bit easier to tell where you're at. But sometimes when you're doing instrumental things, that's a little bit tricky. On these tracks that I did, I kind of did some like little drum fills at the end of this measure, and that kind of cues you that it's going to start over again. And that's usually one real good way to do that, or to signal that, as a drummer will kind of play a fill at the end of this bar, and that kind of kicks you back into the start here. Okay. All right. So this kind of wraps up the first of our blues unit. And here are some points for review for the whole blues unit that you want to make sure that you understand. This is some stuff we've learned so far. It says, here's a summary of what we've learned so far. 12-bar blues is a chord progression made up of 12 measures that are repeated throughout a song. The standard rhythm figure for a rock feel, which is what we've been doing so far, is called the boogie shuffle. Okay, that's the accenting that backbeat on 2 and 4 with that ring finger, that shuffle move. Then the last measure of the 12-bar blues is called the turnaround. Sometimes it'll be 2 measures that are a turnaround, but it's that last portion that turns you around, takes you back at the top. Okay. The 12-bar blues progressions consists of chords built from the first letter name of the key, the 4th letter name of the key, and the 5th letter name of the key. That's what we call a 1-4-5 progression. Okay, the 1 chord is always the first letter name of the key. That's the chord that names the key. The common turnarounds that we've looked at so far are 5 chord turnarounds and 1 chord turnarounds. That's what we've looked at so far. Okay. We've done a quick change, and the quick change is when you quickly change to the 4 chord in the second bar of the song. So you want to remember what that quick change is. Take it from the 5 means that you're going to intro into the song by beginning from the first place that 5 chord shows up in the progression, not the turnaround 5 chord, but the first place where it shows up, which is what, bar 9, I guess. Anyway, that's to take it from the 5. And then that common variation, which we just covered in this video, is to substitute that 5 chord for the 4 chord in bar 10 of the progression. Now, I have some practice tracks available for this, and they're not exactly like the ones that we had here that we practice along with, but they're similar. And on these practice tracks, what they do is they I'll start on the practice track and you'll just hear the practice track go on. It's an audio track, not a video track, okay? And the practice track will come on and it will say 12 bar blues, key of A, 5-chord turnaround. And then you'll hear the count go, and you're supposed to play with it, okay? And I've got a total of 10 practice tracks for this section that I want you to work on, okay? They're at different speeds, different keys. These are all going to be in the key of E or A, but they're going to quiz you on all the different things that we've done here. And you guys want to try that. Now you can contact us, On Track Guitar, office at ontrackguitar.com, okay? And we can get you those practice tracks. Look for I'll probably make an announcement on the site for just a place where you can go and just download or have access to the audio tracks. Anyway, if you need those right now, think of office at ontrackguitar.com and ask about the audio tracks, and we'll make sure we can get you those so that you can practice along with them. Because that's a great way to go. It quizzes you. You know, it's like you hear what I'm saying. Oh, 5-chord turnaround. Oh, take it from the 5. Oh, key of A. You know, and so you're having to hear that and play back to it. So work with those. Okay. All right. So that wraps up the first blues unit here. Work with that. As soon as you're done with this, you're ready to move on to the second blues unit. Take care, everybody. Have a great on-track day. I'll see you around.